them both set. Good boy. Alrighty guys, so here we have a 2004 Lincoln Navigator. So check it out. The suspension is riding way too low. So the customer declined a diagnosis, but we're gonna go ahead and do a shock conversion kit. So we're gonna go to standard struts and shocks and get rid of all his air suspension. So first thing we want to do, let's apply the hand brake, in this case leg brake. That way we can go ahead and jack it from the front. Alrighty, now that we have our jack out, of course we have our jack stand there, another one over here. So we gotta go ahead and jack it. We're gonna go ahead and do that from frame here. Get it nice and high. Under there. We're gonna go ahead, set up our jack stand. We don't want this falling on us at any time. So do that there. Same thing to the other side. Cool. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so starting off, we have the card lifted, we have the jack under. Now we gotta pop off this little plate. Just use a little flathead like this. Be careful not to damage the rim or your customer, or not your customer, but you guys just might be upset. Alrighty, so this looks to me like it's a 21. I have that prepared already. So I actually got this gun from Harbor Freight. It's the Earthquake Extreme. This thing does phenomenal. So I'm gonna go single-handed for the first one, and then I'm gonna cut out a little bit, and the wheel should be off after the fact. Alrighty, so now the wheel's off. So as you can see, this shock was completely disinflated. You see that here? That's why it was so low. So now, in order to remove this shock, what we're gonna need to do, gotta remove the solenoid here, the clip, move the airline connector, then we're gonna secure it somewhere safe. That way it's out of the way when we put in our regular strut and shock. After that, we're gonna remove this nut and bolt, remove these 3 bolts up top that are holding up the shock, and we'll see if we're gonna need to remove this outer tie rod, not necessarily from the power steering rack, but just here from the knuckle. But let's start with that. Cool. So this one I actually took out, and I didn't have the right size socket, so I had to run an AutoZone really fast. Got a big socket set. This was actually a size 30, right? And you need to hold on to the nut side of it. So I actually bought an adjustable wrench, which worked great because it could be any size. Alrighty, let me take this out for you guys. Alrighty, so the shock is out. It's laying down right there. I had to get little cutters, cut the zip ties. I was mounting the connector to the shock. So this is gonna be our new shock. I actually got it off Strut Master, because Strut Master includes a little bypass module so that you don't have that annoying airbag warning light after you install just regular suspension. Alrighty, now let's put it in reverse order. So update, the new shock's placed. Initially you guys probably saw me trying to put these in. I didn't realize these were for the rear, these are for the front. So it's in place. Now it's time to put everything back on. Now we're all back in. We have the knuckle on to the upper control arm. We have our tie rod onto our knuckle as well. Our shocks bolted up from the top. Now just time to put the wheel back on. So now that the front's done, check it out. You remember the before, look at the height now. Now we gotta move on to the back. So same thing, pretty straightforward. We're gonna take off the wheel and I'll meet you there. Now that the wheel is off, all we're gonna have to remove is this outer tie rod. Move nut and bolt here, nuts up top. So let's go ahead and do it. And this is gonna be an 18. Up front it was a 21. This one's an 18 now. I'm a little out of breath. Can you guys hear? Pretty sure you can. You're like, wow, this guy's a mechanic. I know, right? There he is. A certain way, he's okay. Just so you guys know. The new shocks should come with new nuts. You don't want to use the old nuts, just in case they are considered a one-time use, where they lose their strength upon tightening, and you don't want any of your suspension to vibrate loose and cause problems. If you're forced for whatever reason to use your old nuts, please use Loctite. I like Loctite Blue. Nothing too crazy, but does the job. Alrighty guys, so this is how I had to do it. I had to place the jack under at an angle this way. If you do it towards you, trust me, it doesn't look pretty. Check out my finger. Yeah, that's what happened when I faced it towards me and tried to put it in. But anyways, jack facing the back of the car, lifting up the shock. You could put in the nut, screw it in some. Be careful that the jack does want to move a little bit, and if that moves, it pops out of place, you can seriously get hurt. So please be careful, maybe even ask for help. Okay, well, I'm going to continue the reverse process. Alrighty, so our shock is in, our lines are secured, our tow arm is now secured as well. Everything is nice and tight. Alrighty guys, all that's left is put on the wheel, drive the car. Well, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe. You know, if you guys want to learn more, I'm going to be posting about every Sunday, different cars, different things, spark plug, suspension, diagnostics, everything you want to learn. And leave any comments if you want to see something in specific, you need me to work on a specific car, any questions that you might have, and I can answer. Cool. Thank you guys.